So, hey guys, welcome back to Convos with God. And I just have a really quick word for you today. And just ignore my awkwardly placed mic for today. So one of the things that God reminded me of is how He's teaching me the way that He works that is similar to a GPS, but better. And so we know that a lot of times God will give us an assignment or something to do or drop something in our spirit. And we feel that it's a God idea or a God move, or, God is the one that is leading us to this particular thing. And then we get started, we start to execute. And then because we're not really seeing much fruit, or we're not really seeing, a big result or whatever it is that we would expect, we start to question, am I hearing God right? Am I doing what I'm supposed to do, God? Like, was this you? Was this me? Like, what's going on? Because it's almost like there's silence, right? And what God has had to remind me of is the way that a GPS works. So the way that a GPS works is this, right? The GPS has carved out the path for you to take, for you to get to your destination, and you accept that path, right? And so now you're following the GPS. When you are going the right direction, the GPS is silent. The GPS doesn't tell you, keep going. You're going in the right direction. The GPS doesn't tell you all that. When the GPS speaks, it's when you have a turn coming up, or if you've made the wrong turn. So when you have a turn coming up, what happens? The GPS will alert you. The GPS will try to say, hey, you have a turn coming up, in 500 feet, you're going to make a left or you're going to make a right. It tells you when you need to pivot. It tells you when you need to make a move. So it alerts you to let you know you have a turn that's coming up right now. Or if you've made the wrong turn, it says what? It says rerouting. It starts to reroute you from the mistake that you've made. Now it's going to try to get you back to your destination from that mistake. The time may be a little bit different, right? The destination time now may have changed, but you're still going to get to where you need to get to. You're going to get to your destination. And in the same way, when you are following the steps that God has carved out for you, He has called you, you have given Him your yes, whatever the project is, whatever the idea is, whatever the assignment is, and you are taking the steps that you are supposed to take, right? You may not necessarily hear anything. You may not hear God telling you you're on the right path, you're going the right direction. But believe this, when you need to make a shift or you need to make a pivot, God will let you know. He will direct you. And if you were to make the wrong turn, if you were to make the wrong move and you make a mistake, He will reroute your steps and get you back on track. But the difference between God and the GPS is you will get to your destination when you are destined to get to your destination. There is an appointed time for everything. And God works everything out in a way that where we can't really fathom and we can't really understand. And even when we try to put the pieces together, we're like, how, like when, and how does he do it? But He does. When you are obedient to God, you are allowing your faith to work, you are in alignment with God, you will get to your destination. Whether you make a mishap, whether you turn right when you should have turned left, whether you stop when He wanted you to keep going, you will make it to your destination as long as you are obedient and you continue on the path that He has carved out for you. A lot of times we don't see results and we don't see anything happening. And so we think that maybe God is silent, or maybe God does not approve, or maybe God is not in alignment with this. And so we start to make our own decisions, right? We start to reroute ourselves, and that He has to get us back on that path. Like, nah, I didn't tell you to turn. I didn't tell you to stop. Keep going. So if God is giving you something to do, and it's something that you know that is God led, and you are someone who is a believer, you are in alignment with God, you truly want to do His will, your heart is in the right place, trust and believe. Even if you are not hearing anything right now, God is still leading you. You are on the right path. You just have to keep going. Don't stop. Don't suddenly make a left or right if it's not God led. Just keep going and you will get to where He wants you to get to. I know it can be frustrating when it seems like there's silence. I know it can get, a little bit like confusing or scary when it feels like you're not hearing anything. You're not seeing any major results. And God, is this what you had in mind? Just continue on the path. I love Proverbs 16 verse 9. It says, in their hearts, humans plan their course, but the Lord establishes their steps. And let me read to you Psalm 37 verses 23 and 24. It says, the Lord makes firm the steps of the one who delights in Him. Though he may stumble, he will not fall, for the Lord upholds him with His hand. So though he may stumble, he will not fall. So though you may make a wrong turn, you will get to your destination. Though you may stop suddenly and feel like, man, like, is it too late? Did I miss my time? You will get to where you need to get to. Because even though we make mistakes, God brings us right back on the path that we are supposed to follow. He establishes our steps. So make sure that you are in alignment with God. Make sure that you continue and you are diligently seeking Him, and just continue on the path that He has carved out for you. Even if you don't hear anything, you are on the right path. If you are someone who has a hard time hearing God, or wondering like, am I hearing God right? Is this how He speaks? Pick up the Bible and read it. Get in a habit of consistently being in the Word and reading it, because in there are His words, are His voice, the way He speaks. And as He continues to speak to you, you will recognize His voice because you've spent time in the Word. You've spent time in seeing what He said, how He said it, the way He speaks, His characteristics, all of that. You have to get in the Word. So that's what I wanted to share with you, because I know myself, I tend to have those moments where I'm like, God, I'm not seeing anything. Like, is this really you? Did I hear correctly? And He has to remind me that He doesn't always have to keep speaking to say, you're going in the right way, you're going in the right direction, keep going, because the GPSs don't even do that, right? And it's not limiting Him to saying that He's not going to, or He can never do that, but it's just reminding us that He can be silent and it's okay, because you're going in the right path. Now, He also can send confirmation to you and let you know you're going in the right direction, you're doing the right thing, keep it up. But just know that just because you don't hear that, it doesn't mean that you're going on the wrong path. So that's all I wanted to share. For those of you who are not aware, I own a Christian apparel line called Chosen Wear. Link is in the bio. You have t-shirts as well as hoodies and sweatshirts, just repping God, right? And just reminding you of who you are, your identity. So definitely check it out. There's necklaces like these. This one says Chosen, as well as my Christian planner that gets you focused and attacking your goals. So check it out in the description box. Until next time, be blessed.